Hello and good evening. This is Maraj from Business Technologies, and on behalf of the entire organizing team, I welcome you all on this special day, 17th of September, for the session about AWS Cloud. Uh, I know this is like a vacation for a holiday vacation for festival for a couple of states, and some of you have just returned from academy and duties and so on. Really appreciate your time and presence. This session is for 45 minutes, close to 45 to 50 minutes, and I'll be taking you through few slides, and I will hand over the session to the expert resource here, who will talk about the AWS Cloud and the AWS Cloud Practitioner Examination, and the opportunities in AWS Cloud for the finalist students who can complete the examination, add the skill set to their profile, so that the their profiles get shortlisted better than the other profiles who don't have any global certifications like AWS and so on. So this is the name of the company, Business Technologies Private Limited. We are a SaaS startup in cybersecurity, blockchain, and AI. And of course, for the participants, we will have the data in our webinar platform who attended and participated in this webinar. Those who need the certificate of participation, please fill this URL, https bit.ly AWS Cloud Cert CLD CRT. We'll put in the chat as well. You can take the note of this URL. You need to fill the form in the Google form, and we will compare your form data with the platform attendance data. Then we will provide the participation certificate. So this is our credentials in terms of DPIT certification, Startup India recognition, IEC code for international business and MSME. Of course, we are ISO 9001 2015 certified as well. This is the profile, my profile, one of the founders, and we have another partner that is in um, Chennai. We have operating team in Africa. We have registered business in Melbourne, in Australia, and so on. We'll cover a little bit about this in the coming slides. The complete details about my profile, the complete technology team, and so on. What are the credentials and so on. You can see it in this web URL, weblog in100web.com. These are the academic institutions, close to 20 academic institutions. We regularly collaborate in the form of MOU, and so far we have completed and delivered 95 plus offline sessions. We are not including any online sessions like this. If we count online sessions, that itself will may go around more than 100 plus online sessions. So we have delivered around 95 plus offline sessions, touching 2000 plus 20,000 plus students and faculties from different 50 plus academic institutions have participated. This includes 250 plus faculties across India, not just Tamil Nadu. The complete details are in this web URL, in100web.com. What we do, core business is EdTech and cybersecurity consultancy services. EdTech takes part of like 15% of our entire operations. 85% of our consulting of our business unit is into consulting, auditing, and solutions in cybersecurity, blockchain, AI, cloud, artificial intelligence, and so on. So this is what we do. And in terms of cybersecurity services, we specialize in offensive security, especially under offensive security red team activities and penetration testing. And we are bringing SOC to a table, Security Operations Center, around February 2025. And these are the collaborations in terms of partnerships. We are partnered with a company called IPWV, one of the top 5 blockchain company across the globe who has like 1,500 plus blockchain patents that is in the platform. And the next one is Certic, one of the top 5 blockchain security auditing company. They have secured around like billions of dollars in terms of smart contract audit, blockchain audit, layer 2 solutions audit, and so on, Web3 audit, and so on. A similar company related to blockchain and Web3 audit. The name of the company is Quill Audits, partnered in December 2022. They have the base in UAE in India. Of course, one of the top 5 companies in India as well. And we are Intel Alliance partner since 2022 December, and we are part of the Skill Acts November 2023. We established our Australian business in Melbourne in May 2023, and we became ISC2 official training partner, who is SLN Consulting. We became partner last month. And this is our EdTech milestones. We initiated the She Gods initiative, Women in Cybersecurity, around March 8, 2024 this year, and so far we have delivered programs for across 4+ academic institutions, and we have one big announcement coming in couple of weeks later to She Gods. This is the program launch. These are the senior most professionals industry. One is the first one is Professor Dr. Batmawati Ma'am, Dean from Avinash Lingam, and Dr. Jinu Balar, Additional Director, Software Technology, Parks of India, and Gayatri Ma'am from Startup Tamil Nadu, and Dr. Venkatesan as well. He's a placement director in United Institutions, and he was the placement director in Bharat University, and he is also the chief strategy officer at BCBS Technologies. And we delivered like cybersecurity sessions. This the first session in terms of the cybersecurity engagement delivered by Mr. Abuba Kumar from Grant Thornton. This is for global audience, and we had this second session, Mr. Sairam, that happened on 14th of August last month, and the third session happened around last week of August. We established a business in Africa like 2-3 weeks ago. It's been a discussion since uh, Feb, and we just completed it in African region. We have a presence, and we became partner with INE, the one of the top 5 cybersecurity certification vendors and upskilling program vendors and so on. We became partner a couple of less than 10 days ago, and we have recently delivered like um, a big engagement in the Network of Technology. We delivered cybersecurity sessions for 6 departments, 200 plus students, 10 days on site. This is one of a recent achievement. And this is again the same URL that I just mentioned. Those who require the certificate of participation, we request you to keep a note of this URL. We'll put it in the chat, and please fill this up so that we will compare this with the participation record in our platform and the Google form, and then the certificate of participation will be emailed to you. And this is data that we just fetched in LinkedIn like 5 days ago. Cloud jobs for freshers. I'm just talking about LinkedIn only. I'm not talking about other platforms like Naukri, Indeed, and other job search platforms. There are like 52,000 plus cloud computer jobs in India itself, only in India, and I'm not counting any remote jobs that is across the globe and still expecting profiles from India. And of course, this is a huge opportunity for students to graduate in 2025. That's the reason we found that it's really a necessary to take the right certification details to the students so that they can complete the certification before December and add it to the profile, which will help them to getting a job, which will help them to enhance the possibility of getting a job during the placement program and before the graduation over, probably around April 2025. The reason being, we are in touch with probably like 15 plus academic institutions since November and until this month, September, like close to 10 months. And we have the data from all the 15 plus academic institutions. Some are like group of engineering colleges and so on. The total number of candidates who are yet to be placed. We have a we conducted an interview yesterday, and one of the guy got placed in a company, one of the well-known company in Chennai, like 2022, and he was waiting for that offer to get confirmed, like still now 2023 April he completed the graduation, and out of all the classmates who got the offer letters in 2022, only 40 percentage got hired by this company as of last month. So all the rest of the 60 percentage, they are with the offer letter only, no calling letter and no onboarding. That happened in the less than 2 years of his graduation. He just completed graduation last year, last April. We have like 700 plus um, job applications for one job posting. We put in LinkedIn, and all those candidates completed the graduation in April 2024. Today is like September 17, and it's been like April, May, June, July, August, September. It's been like close to less than 6 months, and still either their internship didn't convert to a full-time offer, or their employer is unable to offer a full-time job role, and still they are waiting for the confirmation or the calling letter for their to onboard to the jobs. That's the reason we chose one of the hot topic, and we thought will have an external resource who is really skilled and expert in this AWS cloud technology. She holds a couple of certifications. Her name is Fatima, and she will take it forward from this moment. She will give an overview of the certification, about the AWS Cloud Practitioner examination, and so on. And then we will get back to the actual discussion about what is this training program is all about, and how long it is going to happen, and how this is going to be beneficial for the students that is in last year, the final year. Okay. And once again, on behalf of Basic Technologies, I welcome you all, and I welcome our chief guest, the resource person of today, Ms. Fatima, on a special day today, to take it forward from now on. Over to you.
Hello, everyone. Thank you, sir, for the introduction. Good evening, everyone. I'm Fatima, an AWS consultant, AWS certified cloud practitioner, and AWS certified solutions architect. In this session, we were going to explore the future of AWS cloud. Most of the people join here, students, I hope, maybe working professionals also, who would like to change their domain to AWS Cloud. I really welcome you all. Let me share my screen once. Can anyone confirm or you able to see my screen on chat?
Yes, it is visible. Thank you.
Okay. So basically, what is AWS Cloud? So most of the people were not aware of that. So AWS Cloud is a platform where you don't need on-premise server for your business application to run. So you can just purchase some of the resources from AWS Cloud, like EC2 servers, storage, and you can just pay for whatever you are using. So AWS Cloud is uh, on AWS Cloud is a service that you can only pay for the services that you are using for your business applications. So, in this session, I'm going to tell you what are the benefits of AWS. So, in the business perspective, if you see, most of the companies previously using AWS Cloud because most of the companies previously purchasing on-premise server to the application to host on the website. So on-premise server, a small server costing nearly 1 lakh rupees. So it is really too much of cost if you anyone wants to start a startup company. It is really highly high of cost to run a company, including the infrastructure cost. So what AWS offering is you can only pay for the resources that you are utilizing with zero investment, and there are a lot of benefits that really help you using the AWS services without any downtime of your applications. This is a picture when flood come to a Sony IT infrastructure that makes Sony applications down for like 1 month because most of the companies using the infrastructure on their own building. So if any disaster coming like flood or earthquake, so the infrastructure affected and it is not able to recover immediately. So what AWS offers is like they maintaining the infrastructure of AWS with regions, availability zones, and endpoints with the different geographical area. So regions is basically different geographical area. Take an example like India, Australia, America. So each region have its own availability zone, like two or more availability zone. So availability zone, it is like a physical data center. So you can easy so they can maintaining the infrastructure, patches, everything for you. And what you can do is, what are the services you need from AWS, you can purchase and use it, and they can take care of the infrastructure. So we are free of cost of the infrastructure in our organization or anything. So this is a picture of AWS availability zone. So it is in Oregon. So it is not the only availability zone in America. There is 2 or 3 availability zone. So each availability zone has its own infrastructure like this. So what if you run your application in one availability zone? If any natural disaster occurs, but your application is replicated to another availability zone, which makes your application do not down in any time, even if any natural disasters came. So okay, so there are now nearly 26 regions and 84 availability zones in AWS infrastructure. So if we host an application on AWS for disaster recovery planning, we can host into multiple availability zones. These are the services, some of the services in AWS. So the most used AWS service is EC2 instance. I hope most of the guys here know what is a server. I hope a server is a computing machine which really helps your application to run. So what's really happening in real time is, if you have an application that is maybe like a business application, like financial application. First, what they're going to do is the developers writes the code. So after the code written properly and tested on the local, there must be a server that needs to be hosted on, which can be accessible for the people to use on website. So EC2 instance is a virtual machine, which is handled by AWS with various types. So each type helps you for different use cases. Like for memory utilization applications, there is a separate type of EC2 instance. For general purpose, so there is a separate type of instance. So you can utilize whatever your needs, based on your needs only. So EC2 instance is a virtual machine that you can host your application based on your application needs, and this EC2 instance helps you scaling up and down. Do you guys know what is basically scaling, vertical scaling and horizontal scaling? Anyone? Okay. So basically, scaling means if you have like a 10,000 users to access your application, which is hosted on a server. So if you cross the limit, like there are another 1,000 people who like to access your application, that time the application will crash, because that EC2 instance is only capable of doing 10,000 users to access the application. So if the users extends, there is an option in AWS service which is helps in automatically scaling the servers based on the needs, and scale out, and based if the users were not using the application, like 10,000 users. So basically, AWS helps us in customizing the demand based on the users also, that is auto scaling. So there is a service in AWS that is the auto scaling for horizontal scaling. And security groups, what are security groups is, if you host your application on EC2 instance, So that EC2 instance is publicly accessible. Maybe hackers and some of the hackers may able to access your application and will hack the entire application and maybe destroy your codes, so really causing a loss of business loss in your infrastructure. So for that purpose, there are a lot of services in AWS helps in securing the applications, like security groups, which is restricting the IPs, that whatever IP we needed for the application we can allow or deny with the use of security groups. And network ACL is basically used for subnets. We have lot of concepts in AWS like security groups, subnets, network ACLs, which are each are AWS services used for the customization of these servers. So AWS IAM is like a identity and access management, which helps in users to access your AWS resources based on their role. So if you have a developer who like to access Elastic Beanstalk and they do not want to access any of the storage services in your AWS account, so you can create an IAM user with the appropriate permissions or policies that attach to the user to only access the specific services of the users, which really helps to secure your infrastructure within the organization. Most of the most of the um, most of the crime in cyber attacks happen only inside the organization. So this is really crucial in using the least privileged access, that is whatever permission the user needed, so that permission will be executed for the specific user. That is the principle of least privilege. So this is the service that is helping in implementing the user to the specific permissions. This is elastic load balancing. So what elastic load balancing is, if your application have like two or three more servers, so that application needs to be redirected to another server in case of updation of the application. Like if you have an application that needs to be updated into some other version, so you can redirect using elastic load balancing, so they can access a specific servers only for the specific period of time. So what is Amazon VPC? Amazon VPC is a virtual private cloud, which basically is a separate virtual environment for your application infrastructure. So, take an example. If you have an application like commercial shopping application, which is using EC2 server for front end and back end, and storage for database. So all the resources of the AWS can be hosted on a Amazon VPC, because the application will be secure if we hosted on a VPC. So basically, all the services were hosted on a virtual private cloud, which is separated for your environment. Then I'm gonna discuss about the Amazon EBS. So Amazon EBS is a disk which is attached to the EC2 instance, the virtual servers, for the temporary storage. That is like a temporary storage. So you can take backups of the EBS and store. If you want the EBS to be backed up, you can use a service called AWS backup. So there are a lot of AWS services and concepts were there, so we can go one by one. Okay, what are the advantages of AWS cloud computing? So it is really a variable expense, that is like you can only use, you don't need to pay for anything upfront. So you can just use for whatever the requirement based on your business application. So it is a variable expense, so you don't need to worry about the huge amount of investments. So it is a highly recommended for variable expense benefit. And if you have any incoming request to your application suddenly, and it can automatically scaling based out for your application requirement and scale in based on your requirement, so you don't need to worry about the infrastructure. So basically previously the IT companies were bought the virtual machines for their company infrastructure that really costing a lot. So for that on-premise infrastructure, there are a lot of things required to maintaining the physical on-premise servers. That is, first they need a team that maintaining the hardware virtual servers to maintain the availability and working properly. They have to monitor all the time. So second, then they need a specific networking team for the physical servers to maintain the applications, and whatever customization they need to make. It is really bit complex to implement, and really it needs a lot of downtime. So basically what is downtime is like, if your application needs any update, so it has to be made, and it results in not accessible at the website for a specific period of time, so that is downtime. So it is because the AWS cloud offering the virtual servers, it really helps in minimizing the downtime into zero, and the application keeps running on all the time, which results in huge profit in the huge profit in the infrastructure as an organization perspective. So in IT infrastructure companies, everyone, if you down your application like for 1 or 2 hours, it really costs a lot of loss in their business. So this is really helps in AWS really helps in minimizing the downtime and offering so many customization, which results in the increased demand of AWS cloud. So if you want to launch a server for a specific application that you have created, if you want a physical server, then it may cost a lot of time. So that will take like you have to purchase a physical server, and it may take time to reach you, like 1 or 1.5 month to reach you. And then after it reach your destination, you have to configure everything based on your application requirement, and then you will upload your code and configure it and host your application on the website. So it will create a lot of time, lot of delay in time for the infrastructure provisioning on the website. So but if you want to host an application on AWS, it will only takes 10 minutes to launch virtual machines based on your application requirement, and you can host your application anytime, like within 1 hour, which really reducing the time and manpower. All the It is really effective in managing the applications also. So it gives a lot of customization. You don't need a specific people to get customized in network, for the security, for scaling, for the VPC settings. You don't need a lot of person. You only need one person who is know the knowledge, who is know the concept about these services. And it is really able, we are, if you guys are learning this AWS cloud, you're able to create your own infrastructure in 1 month. If you have knowledge about the AWS services and its costing, then you guys are really able to handle your own infrastructure. So this is the advantage of AWS cloud. Most of the organizations, startup companies were wholly dependent on 100 percentage of AWS infrastructure nowadays. So because the AWS startup companies were increasing, the demand for AWS cloud practitioner, AWS cloud technicians, the demand is really high. So that is why we are here to learn about the AWS cloud computing and about the infrastructure, about the concepts of these things. So basically, the AWS cloud covers into five topics like compute, storage, database, networking, and security. So compute is, as I already mentioned you, easy to instance is one of the compute services which AWS offers, which is a virtual machine that is created on the AWS infrastructure. You can create that in minutes and able to customize so many things using EC2 instance like elastic load balancing, auto scaling, elastic IP addresses, and lot of things you can customize if you host your application on EC2 instance. So as for storage, whatever application we are hosted on a server, we need a storage, because if it's a LMS platform, LMS means learning management platform, you need to storage, you need to store the information about your students and what are the students completed the course and how many students have progressed. All the information you need to store, right? So for that, we AWS offer a lot of storage options like RDS S3. So each services have its own use cases. Like S3 is a simple storage service which mainly used for storing object-oriented files. Like it is maybe a JPG file. So like that kind of files can be stored in S3 bucket. And for ODS, there are so many customization. ODS is a relational database services, and it is also used for the storage options. Databases is like a collection of data. That is a huge amount of data that can be stored in a storage model. So ODS is also a database. In ODS itself, there is a lot of options like MySQL, Postgres. So there is a lot of options based on your application that you can able to host. So for networking, um, basically, if you guys are noticing, if you go into any application or any website, you can see the domain, right? So the domain must be configured in a specific way that the people able to access it. So in AWS, they offer Amazon Route 53, which is a which is a domain manager that able to maintain our domain, that we can customize it. We can create subdomains, which is, take an example, if it's BusyBus, and learn.busybus is a subdomain, which all created with the use of some domain customization platform. For AWS, it's they are offering Amazon Route 53 for the domain and configurations. For security, they are providing a lot of services to secure your application's infrastructure on AWS. There are a lot of attacks, cyber attacks were happening today. Even day by day, it's increasing only. So for security purpose, they also introduce a lot of things like WAF, which is a firewall for your application that really helps in reducing the DDoS attack. DDoS is attack is like a if some people would like to hack your account or attack your infrastructure, they will create a false alarm that makes thousands of requests falsely to your infrastructure to make your application crash. So that is one of the type that cyber attacks happen. So for that security purpose, AWS offering WAF, AWS Shield for these DDoS attacks, and for IP restrictions, security groups. There are a lot of services AWS offering for securing your infrastructure also. So it can basically, if you want to run an application at high level, to like minimizing the disaster time in your application, or you want to increase your availability in your application, you want to store your databases in your application, whatever customization you need, whatever things you want, you needed, even analytics, they provide a lot of services for analytics itself in AWS, because in business perspective, analytics plays a uh, key role, because we have to know how the customer thinks, how the customer handles. So what these are the information that really needs in improving the business plan for the future. So analytics plays a key role. So for that, they offer a lot of services like AWS Glue, Athena, QuickSight. So these are the services that really helps in data lake. Data lake means processing the data and create the information about it. So for analytics also, they provide a lot of services. Okay. For AWS, how we are accessing the AWS services is basically, if we have an account, let's take an example. If you join in a company, they will provide you a user credential for the management console. Okay, this is the AWS management console picture. So if from this management console, you can able to see what are the services there are. Here, like EC2 instance, DynamoDB, WAF, IAM. So all the services were there. So you can navigate to the appropriate services and able to use the resources in a minute. um, we can access the AWS resources using CLI also. CLI is a command line interface which you can access the AWS services using a code. Okay, so all you need is a credential, even it is IAM user or security credential like secret key access key, which with that secret key access key you were able to access the AWS resources via code. So this is the management console. So these are the services icons that will shown in the management console that you can able to see. Okay, this is innovation with AWS. So nowadays there are a lot of concepts that really helps the business to grow more, like machine learning, blockchain, Internet of Things, AWS Wavelength. So there are a lot of services, innovative services with that. So basically, if we move our application infrastructure and everything to AWS, so that AWS must be able to customize and gives us out all our required business needs. So for that case, they are delivering more than 10 services each year. So for machine learning things, they introduce machine learning service in AWS. With the use of this service, you can able to integrate that with your application, that able to helps your application, uh, which relates to the machine learning purposes. So for cloud practitioner certificate, so this is the basic certifications that one first made in order to get professional in the AWS cloud. So AWS certified AWS cloud practitioner basically covers these four topics. First, the cloud concepts. Second, security and compliance. Third, technology. And fourth, billing and pricing. If we are cover these four topics, we were able to crack this exam very easily. All you need is first have a trust on yourself that even whatever domain you're in, you're able to crack, because it is a basic thing that one must understand the concepts, then it is really easy for you to know what it's going to do. So this is the first thing of learning. You have to understand the thing, that how it's working. So what is EC2? EC2 means it is a server which is used for hosting the application, so it can access in website. So these are like the concept first we need to uh, get in strong, so then we are able to understand all the concepts of AWS. Like we need to know about the AWS services and use case first, and then we need to know about the billing and pricing. The billing and pricing is really crucial, because whatever services we are using in AWS, it's all have its own cost based on the usage that we are using. But it differs for each services. Like take an example for EC2 instance, it's costing $142, 42 micro, and it is different for S3. S3 is a storage service, and it is costing 1000 GB of storage. It's costing only $1.75 only. So you have to also realize the pricing of the services that we are using, because if you even open an AWS account for just hands to get a hands-on lab, to get experience on that. So first you need to know about the pricing, then only you can utilize the services, because it will cost in dollars. And then technology, and what are the technologies that AWS covers for your business application, for your financial applications. You have to know about the technologies that they are offering, so then only you are able to use the services. Okay, so that is 33 percentage of the main topics were covered on technology itself. So then we are going to cover security and compliance. So what are the security feature that AWS offers? That is covers 25 percentage of it, but it is a crucial one, that for whatever you are going through, for security is a must thing for in an organization structure. So AWS have a high scope in today's world, because AWS offering a lot of AWS related jobs were there, because a lot of startup companies were adapting 100% of AWS cloud for their infrastructure. So you can able to crack this exam if you cover these topics with perfect perfect concepts to get understand. If you guys have any questions, that is really a good thing. So questions only came because of the eagerness that you guys have to know about this thing a little more. So that is a good thing. Don't hesitate. Like if you have a lot of questions and I don't have time to ask it, you can ask. That is a good thing too. So save all your questions. We can have a session of this cloud practitioner certification course soon. So I'm waiting for you guys to meet you all to crack this exam. I'm really happy to get to know about you guys today. And if you need any questions, if you have any questions, you can ask on chat, and I'll answering it as much as I can. Thank you.
Hi, Fatima. Thank you so much for this wonderful insights on the AWS and the AWS Cloud Practitioner certification. And um, there are some queries in the chat. There is one specific query about the course and so on. Yes, the resource person today, Miss Fatima, she is like having three AWS credentials. She just mentioned at the beginning of the session, for associate and cloud practitioner, and another certification as well. I'll just resume the presentation that I started, then we'll go to the end Q&A. Just a minute.
There were a lot of questions you guys were asking me. I try to answer as much as I can. So, one of you asking me, ma'am, service now or IBM Cloud or Azure, these are all which one is understanding EC2. Okay, IBM Cloud itself is a separate AWS, cloud provider. They are also providing some of the services. Azure is also a cloud provider. But comparing to Azure IBM Cloud, AWS is most cost effective, and they offers us lot of customization in our infrastructure, which is comparatively Azure is a little bit costlier comparing to AWS. Today, EC2 instance is a service in AWS cloud, which is used for the application to compute the application to host on the website. So it is based on AWS cloud, the EC2 instance, and ma'am, what does AWS Amplify do? Right, it's a good question. AWS Amplify is a service that AWS offers for hosting the application. But the difference between AWS Amplify and EC2 instances, a EC2 instance offers so many customizations that we can do, but AWS Amplify won't. It is basically used for sample applications like Flask or something like that, but the customization is too low on AWS Amplify. But we can use it for static website and something like that. That we can use it AWS Amplify. It's wholly based on the requirement we have for our applications for each of us. So if we have only a static website that we can host on even S3, which is a storage service, but we can host a static website there also. We can host AWS Amplify also. We can host the application, but it's having a low customization. And someone asking me what is AWS Cloud. I think you joined this class a little later, but cloud means basically it is a word that just mentioning that you don't need to have a physical server for your environment, but you can just have a virtual machine from AWS, which is you're not able to see the infrastructure, but you can just utilize it. So that is what is referring to the cloud basically.
Thanks, Fatima. I'll I'll take it from here, just few minutes, and I really appreciate for having all the queries answered.
Thank
I'm
you.
trying to present the screen, but unfortunately, I couldn't see that option here. So I have few more slides. I have one for AWS related opportunities. That is one, and the another one is for AWS Certified Cloud Practitioner certification slide. Just give me a second. I'll just see if I can present.
anyone hear any voice? I'm not able to hear anything.
Sorry, I was on mute. I'll just go through this again. These are the two job-related opportunities we just fetched last minute, and this is the actual cloud AWS certified cloud practitioner that you can see the details in the AWS Amazon.com portal. And this is the actual examination. So what we are saying is this is the number one certification across the globe in terms of cloud compared to IBM, Azure, Google Cloud, and so on. And those who are certified have a minimum guarantee of like 15% of year-on-year job growth. This is from Amazon website itself. And the average salary package in India starts, I mean, we are not telling the highest package and the entry level package. This is the average. It's like 5.5 lakhs per annum for the beginners in cloud. And then there is a scale of like um, uh, 20 15 to 20 percentage or more than that, depends upon the provider. So we have this AWS certified cloud practitioner scale of C02 exam preparatory course that is available in our portal learn.bcv.io, through which you have registered and connected with this webinar. You can just go to the portal learn.bcv.io, and instead of webinar, you can just select the course. You'll be able to see the course listed. And what is in that LMS? We have live classes, we'll have projects, certificates, once it's done, session recordings. Yes, access to this LMS and students forum where students can interact and chat. These are the skills that you can learn in this exam preparatory course. We will list out on the LMS website. And once the course is completed, we'll be issuing a certificate as well, similar to one that is in the screen. And this is again the same URL that is used for applying for the participate certificate. And how this exam preparatory program is going to be delivered. The course is going to start on 28th of September, and there'll be classes on Saturdays and Sundays for almost 20 weekends, Saturdays and Sundays. And the class timings will be from 3 p.m. to 5 p.m. evening. And those who are unable to attend 1 or 2 days of session, the class recording will be available so that they can refer later. The number of sessions will be 20, and the course will go for 40 hours. And of course, after this 40 hours, this course is not going to end. We'll be having revision sessions, mock exams, and discussion sessions, and so on. Technically speaking, October, November, December, Jan, the course is going to run for almost end of Jan. The first 2 months will be like preparing for the examination, and we would really motivate you to start preparing for the examination from the third week onwards, and we will support you to have this exam completed and declared by before December end. That is the objective, because we really want to have the AWS Cloud Practitioner exam certified by Amazon in your resumes and profiles, and LinkedIn and job portals where you're searching for the job. Whether it is Naukri, Indeed, or LinkedIn, doesn't matter. Even in the resume that you forward to the placement department. So this is schedule on what days and what time this course is going to run, and so on. Yes, this course is being offered for 4 months, and the price is like 5,555 as of in the website. But we have a coupon code here. You can take a note of this coupon code. It will provide you 20% of discount for the first 25 registrations. And the last date of the registration is on 25th of September. And the course will begin on 28th of September, coming Saturday. So now I'll just leave this forum for any questions, final questions and answers, before we say a thank you note for everyone who joined today. And of course, for the participation certificates, please fill this Google form. And if you have any challenges in terms of ID cards and so on, I can see that in the chat. Please email to hello@bcvs.io. We'll be able to assist you further. And once again, special thanks to the resource person here, Ms. Fatima, from her schedule from the industry. We were like 3 weeks in advance. We blocked the date, as she is also engaging with project deliverers and so on. And the special day she joined with us and delivered the session. Special thanks to you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you all.
Most welcome. Thanks for the wonderful session. And once again, we thank you everyone for your presence today. Looking forward to reconnect with you all in another technical session on another day. And keep following up our WhatsApp channel for the technical webinar that is being scheduled every week for the finalist students to get placed in the job. We are trying as much as possible in our capacity uh, to help more students get placed coming 2025. Wish you all the best. Have a good day.